Take Tuesday. Hot Take Tuesday, where we invite a member of the Dave Campbell's Texas football staff to hop on with us and defend their hottest take of the week. And we go to the hotline, Pickle, to bring in the digital director of Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com. If you like TexasFootball.com, it is this man's to his credit. And if you don't like it, blame Pickle. We are joined by the no longer single William Wilkerson. Hello, William.
But still ready to mingle.
Okay, just making sure. I just want to make sure. First and foremost, I don't know if I've talked to you in person. I guess not in person, but on the phone since the nuptials. But congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. If anybody knows of any divorce attorneys, I'm already ready to get this over with. So just let me know.
Moving quick.
Wow. Okay.
Moving quick.
Yes.
Still ready to mingle.
Oof, boy, howdy. Do not. I really hope she is in the other room or out of the house. Okay. You've got a piece up on TexasFootball.com about the 2022 recruit that you would start your team with. Obviously, it's draft season. The NFL draft is coming up here this weekend, and so people are thinking about franchise players and who they want to take. I think there's a notion that especially in this class, 2022 is an outstanding quarterback class. That some people might say, I'm gonna grab Quinn Ewers, or I'm gonna grab Cade Klubnik. You have zigged when they zag. Who is the 2022 recruit that you would start your team with?
It's Kelvin Banks, the five-star offensive tackle out of humble Summer Creek. I know that if people read this piece, which they should, it's by a terrible human being, but you just for argument's sake, click on it so we can get the click. I just think that he is a one-of-a-kind specimen. He is one of 2 5-stars that we have on TexasFootball.com rated in the 2022 class. Behind Quinn Ewers, he's number 2. He's 6'5", a solid 300 pounds, 6'10" wingspan. He's got plenty of room to grow in the weight room. I got the opportunity to see him in person at the Next Level Athlete Texas Top 100 Showcase that we had in Houston at the beginning of 2020. And it was unbelievable watching this kid in one-on-one drills. And one-on-one drills don't tell the whole story, but whenever you put on his film and you see what he can do with pads on, it's the same thing. You cannot get by this guy. So I just wanted to go against the grain a little bit. I think that the easy choice and probably the smart choice, if I'm being honest, would be to take one of those quarterbacks. As you had mentioned, Tep, this quarterback class in 2022 is out of this world. With the likes of Ewers and Klubnik and Wegman and Nick Evers. I mean, the list goes on and on. You could choose any of those guys. And there are other offensive linemen that I mentioned in the story, Cam Dewberry being one of those from Atascocita. So you had plenty of guys to choose from, but I'm going to stick with Kelvin Banks. He's the best player that I've seen, in person, even better than Quinn Ewers, in my opinion. I know that's not going to be a popular opinion, but that's what I'm going to go with.
It's certainly a hot take because there are some recruiting outlets out there who will have Quinn Ewers as not just the best player in the state of Texas, but also the best player. Some people have him as the top player in the nation in any state, anywhere in America. But at the same time, look, I think that there is an argument here. I'm not gonna roast you. I don't know if that's exactly the choice that I would make, but I'm not gonna roast you simply because how many teams do you see out there at any level, whether it's the high school level, the college level, the pro level, who are undone by a lack of protection off the edge, a lack of by not having that guy who can protect the edge at Texas, or rather at the tackle spot. So
no doubt.
I think that when you take a look at Quinn Ewers, I want to be very clear. You're not necessarily saying that Quinn Ewers would be a bad pick. What you're saying is that having a guy like this that you can stick out there at left tackle, let's just say, and say, all right, you're there for 10 years. Guys, I think of like Tyron Smith, what the Cowboys did with Tyron Smith. Having a guy like that in Kelvin Banks, kind of solidifies your team for the next decade or so, and you think that Kelvin Banks can be that kind of guy?
I do, yes, without question. I think in a couple of drafts down the road, I think he'll be shaking hands with Roger Goodell on the NFL draft stage. I think that highly of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a long way to go still, sure, but I think that he's on that kind of career trajectory, so to speak. I just think that he's there at left tackle. You put him there, you forget about him. If your quarterback's a right-handed quarterback, your quarterback's blind side is protected for a decade. And I just think that that's hard to pass up. You could go Quinn easy. I mean, I think that's really the obvious choice. I just decided to just throw some mud on it and just go a different route. And I think that if you're going to go a different route, there are several ways to go. But I'm going to go with the best, player and the best tackle that I've seen personally in the 2022 class, and that's Banks.
And I got to say, man, I would love to be able to argue with Will here and tell him that he's terribly wrong. But I was also at that Hot 100 camp, and him and I stood there together just in awe of what Banks could do. And like he said, it's one thing, and for me, it's always one thing when you can see him on the field just mauling over people. But the one-on-one drills, it was astronomical what he could do on those.
Yes. It wasn't even close.
He's Will Wilkerson. He's the digital director of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. So find his fine work at TexasFootball.com, where you can find his article about why he would take Kelvin Banks out of Humble Summer Creek to start his football team going forward. Will, appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
I will let you go and repair your relationship now.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye, Will.
I'll need it.
There you go.
Bye, guys.
Will Wilkerson here on Hot Take Tuesday here on Texas Football Today.